Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome to the very first episode of Wingin It. My name is Sherman, and in this show, we're just gonna wing it. I'm gonna pick a bird, and we're just gonna talk about it and see what we can come up with. And so to kick things off, we're doing the Northern Cardinal. You know it, you love it. It's red. The Northern Cardinal's Latin name, I think taxonomy is awesome. The Latin name is Cardinalis cardinalis, which when the genus Cardinalis is the same as the species Cardinalis, it's called a tautonym. So we see that with the Northern Cardinal. We see it with Eastern Kingbird. That's a Tyrannus tyrannus. It makes memorization pretty easy. It's a lot easier to remember Cardinalis cardinalis than Scolopax minor, you know. But so if we're talking about genus and species, if we take one step further backwards and we enter into the family, we're talking about the Cardinalidae family. And Cardinalidae, obviously, it's going to include your cardinals. It's got your buntings, tanagers, grosbeaks, a couple others, but those are the big ones. And there's a couple of characteristics that are really embodied in the Cardinalidae family. Territorial is huge. Members of this, you see that with cardinals, that one of the biggest reasons that you'll see a male singing after the breeding season is just to continuously reestablish, hey, this is my area. So any of you other bright red birds that are thinking of moving in, don't. I'm already here. You see a lot more of a stark difference between the males and females. So even though, like, if you look at a house sparrow, yeah, it's a little less colorful than the female house sparrow. Look at the difference. Holy smokes, that guy is like exploding with color. And the female, while also a beautiful bird, it's got more browns and olives, and it's a little bit more focused on camouflage than it is really chauvinistic attitudes. So there's something interesting though with cardinals and that kind of separate them when it comes to bird songs. And one of the biggest reasons that we see birds singing is it's a secondary sex characteristic. And so that means that for the most part it's done by males, and it means that the male is trying to sing as loudly as it can to show the females, the potential mates, hey, look how strong I am. I've got all this energy that I can put into my sexual physique, and I can sing as loud as possible. No other males are going to come messing with our nests. Your genetic information is going to flow so well if you choose me, so they're singing as loud as possible. With cardinals, we see duetting between the male and female. Female birds do vocalize. They're not totally silent, but a lot of the times it's more of metallic chirps or tink calls sometimes that are really more in ways of just communicating with the male as far as safety reasons go. You know, they're telling the male, hey, I'm over here, I'm eating over here. You know, they're trying to keep things connected. Cardinals, the female cardinal will sing as just an elaborate song as the males would. It's a little bit softer, and it takes some serious training, but you can hear a slight difference between the male and the female cardinal song. But the reason that they do that duetting, is that the female is signaling to the male, can you bring some food back when you're done whatever you're doing? Can you stop at the groceries on your way home? And they do. They come back. Studies have found that after the female has sung its song in response, so the male would already be singing out loud wherever it is, just to kind of re-establish that territory that we've talked about. And every once in a while, the female will chirp up. And when the male does come back to the nest, he has seeds for the female and possibly the young chicks that they're developing. So it's really interesting. And the cardinal song itself, I've heard it described as the Star Wars bird because it kind of has like this laser sound to it. I'll play it here. Yeah. So you can really that bird songs will always kind of like range in the sounds that they sing. It's never going to be the exact same unless it's a phoebe. My God. But a lot of the times with cardinals, through all the varying different songs that they'll sing, a lot of times they will have that sort of laserish pew 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 and that's a telltale sign. Okay, that was a cardinal. Cardinals also have a role in the folklore side of things. Sort of, they've been anthropomorphized a little bit to signify they're messengers from the spirit world. And so some people believe that if you're in grieving and you're visited by a cardinal, that it's the person that you've lost has sent this cardinal as a way of saying, everything's okay, everything's going to be okay. There's a little cardinal to treat you. That's always interesting, when you have this sort of dialogue between the scientific ornithological field and the more spiritual, soul-searching side of things. So there's always going to be an interesting coalition of the two, and that's something that I think would be kind of neat to explore as this series continues. That's what we got for the Northern Cardinal. It's a beautiful thing. I've seen one on my balcony a couple times this season. They're very skittish, they know how to succeed, and they know that they're not going to hang around the feeder. So they come up to the feeder, they grab what they need, and they bail. The Cardinals are straight shooters, and they're really impressive creatures. So thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Sherman, and this has been Wingin' It.